I'm not like a sales guy or anything. So I'm literally just here. Just, I guess, what's your goal? What's going on? What's the hiccup? Like, what are you trying to do? I'll just tell you everything I got, literally. Total open book.
Well, when I'm well, I've been watching like some of the I forgot the other guy's name. What's his name again?
Tyson.
Tyson. Yeah, Tyson. Sorry, I
No,
know,
you're good.
I haven't had my coffee yet, so you know. So anyway, so he was talking about like uh the spray and pray approach doesn't work. That it's more about building a relationship with people and drawing people in, like making you like as they're saying you as a subject matter expert
Mhm.
on that topic. And really, I'm relatively new in this whole industry.
Okay.
I got my license in January, and I really didn't start marketing, looking out to, hey people, this is what I do until the last month or about a month or so.
Okay.
So I'm just really like new, and I really want to make this work.
Okay. Totally get it.
Yeah.
What
I put too much time into this, so I'm all in.
it's you just all you need literally is a proven plan and proper implementation. That's it. All these strategies, what works in like selling cars, what works for like McDonald's introducing a new burger, what works for selling an iPhone, selling, financial services, the strategies are all the same. They will never change. The same way that we were selling people 10,000 years ago is the exact same way now. What does change is the tactics and how you go about that. Quick
Gotcha.
example, like before the internet, everyone was cold calling people. Now, that, how do I put this? Like cold calling, there's you kind of like come to a point, like you can only make so many calls. On social media, you can have automations that are blasting out tons and tons of messages to the right type of person. So that's kind of how things change. But really, honestly, man, like the big secret is literally just conversations. It's just talking to people. So if you're new to the industry and like no one, if no one is messaging you, no one is calling you, no one's going on your website, no one's emailing you or anything, that's fine. We'll just accept it because nobody knows who you are in this industry. All good. Best thing we can do is just go out and talk with them, literally. So when I
Hmm.
first started online, I wanted to get a Facebook ad agency up. I wanted to like sell people and run Facebook ads for them. It took me 97 days to get to basically hit a six-figure run rate. Dude, all that I did is I would join groups on Facebook and then I would just message a certain amount of people per day. That's it. And I got nowhere for the first maybe month or something, maybe month and a half. I want to say I got my first client actually about the 60-day mark. So when you
Oh,
start, just keep in mind, like the whole goal really before we're trying to get any clients is just to practice this new skill. So what I would recommend if I was in your spot right now, I would just set a certain amount of connection requests every day. So maybe you send 20 connection requests a day. Yeah, every single day. And then on top of that, so there's two parts, I guess. Send the connection requests, then anybody that accepts that connection request, send them a message. And then also send other people in your network messages. So ideally, you're starting 30 new conversations per day. So I would do 25 connection requests and ideally 30 conversations. 30 conversations, meaning you can start a conversation on LinkedIn, give somebody a call, send somebody a message on Facebook, send an email, go to a BNI meeting, a Chambers of Commerce meeting, whatever it is. Fastest path to cash right now is conversations.
okay. Okay. All right. So in this conversation, do you like? I was doing that earlier, like kind of trying to build up my network,
Yeah.
and then I do see a pop up that says start a conversation
Yeah.
on LinkedIn,
Yeah.
LinkedIn. But so my question is, do you immediately like, jump into what you're doing, or do you just
So
have
this
a
this is a great question, and I'm honestly, it's like a breath of fresh air that you're asking this. One thing that you said that you're kind of new to the industry, that is perfect. You're like in a really good position because there's probably no bad habits. You haven't learned the I guess I mean between you and me, you haven't learned the wrong ways to do this stuff. That means that keeps you completely open to all the new tactics that support the old strategies. That's perfect. So when you like, if you were to go to like a networking event or somebody or something, and you're gonna strike up a conversation with somebody, it would be weird to immediately, like, it would be weird if we got on this call and then I just immediately started telling you all this stuff that I do. It would just, it's just not a normal human way to start a conversation or a
Not
relationship.
natural.
Yeah,
Not
it's
natural.
kind of, it's not natural. It's just kind of weird. But the best way is to ask people questions. People love to talk about themselves. So when you're asking them questions, number one, they feel obligated to respond. And then number two, if I ask you a question, I'm asking you to tell me something about you. And us as humans naturally want people to know things about us.
Uh-huh.
So what I would do is send out your connection requests, but use this message. Send like a note, like I think it's literally send a note with your connection request and just say, hey, name, can we connect? Tony. That's it. So send that with the, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Send,
So instead of just sending just a connection request, set something with it.
yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I just finished, well, I mean, I didn't really finish up some testing, but we used to send connection requests, which you probably get these all the time. It says, hey, Tony, would love to connect with you here on LinkedIn.
Yes.
It's the most, yeah, it's the most standard one. And it's standard because it does well, it does work. But remember what we just said, best way to keep conversations going is ask a question. So that, like, hey, would love to connect with you on LinkedIn. That's a statement, not a question. So people will accept that and then they just go on with the rest of their day. They're not thinking about anything else. So if you ask somebody a question, you're very likely not only to have a higher response rate, but people will message you and say, yeah, oh, I'd love to. How can I help you? What do you need? How's everything going? You know, stuff like that. When we're sending a message, all that matters is that first message gets a response. It doesn't matter if they tell us to F off, I'm going to report you to the FBI, whatever. Doesn't matter. We just need a response. Because then the thought is, okay, if I send 100 messages out, which is what I recommend, like whatever the message you're going to send first to some, so I guess I'm getting ahead of myself. Send a connection request. When they accept that, the next message that you send to them, whatever that one is, send that one 100 times. Don't change anything. Send it to 100 different people because we want to test the response rate on it. If I send out message A 100 times and only 10 people respond, well, then it's broken. It doesn't work. But I have data. So I'm going to come up with message B, send it out 100 times, and whoa, 40 people respond. Now we're getting somewhere. Now we know this message, 40% of people will respond. So now it's just a numbers game. How can I get this out to as many people as possible? So the more responses, the more conversations, and then the more booked calls.
So this message that you send out, are they informal questions or like trying to get to know them or just what is it?
That's another awesome question, man. None of our clients have asked me this either, so this is awesome. So on social media, you have two types of people. You have producers and you have consumers. Producers are the ones that are making content, they're prospecting, they're using these social medias as the tool that they were built for, networking. And honestly, it's a business tool. I mean, social media, whatever, making big giant lists to send out emails. That's really what it is. It's a networking business tool. Now, the consumers, those are the ones that are just scrolling. They're looking to be bored. They're looking to get distracted. So they want to get into conversations. They want that dopamine hit from seeing a post. It's like, whoa, I learned something cool today. And then they go on with their day. They're looking for the distractions. So you are a producer, not a consumer. So that means when you send somebody a message, we're not here to become best friends with somebody. We really don't care about the vacation that they had, don't care about the family dog, whatever. We are here to qualify, or I guess to prospect and qualify and then book a call. So whatever you do on social media, that first message, you're going to have to test it. You'll start with something, just pick a random, whatever you think sounds good. Just start with that. And then this is a very iterative process. So once you get that data back, then just change the message. What we start with, because we have a whole kind of book offer, like our whole kind of program centers, the front end offer centers around a book. So what we say is, man, what is it actually? I don't here, let me look it up. It's something really, here, I got it right here actually. Let's see. Because we just changed this kind of recently, actually. So this one is saying, with everything going on right now, I'm sending out free copies of the Power Zero book to share how to get into the 0% tax bracket. Is that something that you're interested in? So we're saying, hey, I'm giving away this thing. It's it's pretty valuable. Are you interested? Is that something that interests you? We're not saying, hey, I'm giving out this thing. You need to click this link because it's going to help you so much. People don't like to be told what to do. It kind of triggers like that childhood psychology, like nobody wants to be told what to do. So statements don't do so well starting conversations. That's why our message ends with, is that something you're interested in? There's a lot of psychology behind it. Yeah. Now, one thing that if you don't have like an offer, like you don't have kind of that front end funnel product, whatever it is, the question that I would ask people, and you might be surprised, but just try it out, see what happens. I would ask people, how's business with everything going on right now? There is a dramatic difference between asking somebody, hey, how's business? Versus, hey, how's business with everything going on right now? Humans, the same way that we like to answer questions, we also want to be liked and we want to be relatable with other people. We're like pack animals. We want to be relatable. So when I ask, hey, how's everything or how's business with everything going on right now, I'm kind of tapping into that subconscious part of you that's like, hey, man, we're on the same team and we're watching this chaos out there in the world. Like, oh my God, are you okay? And a lot of the times people are they're gonna respond to that a little bit. You might be surprised by their response because they're gonna give you some information.
That's interesting. Interesting approach.
Yeah, it's really, really, really. I mean, that's when so after I had my Facebook ad agency up, I got an opportunity to do a lot of work in a lot of other industries, and one of those was doing sales or marketing actually for a commercial real estate coach. And they did like 200-300 grand a month, like clockwork. And it was all through LinkedIn. Every single thing was through LinkedIn. Now we had a very specific script that was very specific to commercial real estate brokers. But what I just put in the chat there for you, that's a really basic script that you can use for pretty much every single industry. And those questions will go in that specific order. But I guess like look at that script and kind of just like, how do those questions make you feel? Literally, like when you look at it, what is your first emotional response? And then compare that against conversations that you see other people sending you on LinkedIn. And you'll notice there's a very, very clear difference. Most people on LinkedIn, they're doing that kind of shotgun approach that Tyson was talking about. They're just blasting out all these statements. You got to do, if you want to hit this, you got to do this. It just doesn't work like that.
Like you said, people don't like to be told what to do.
Exactly that. Yeah. And then there's no questions there. If I tell you, hey man, if you want to hit 10K a month, like you just click here. It's just not nearly as effective because number one, you might not want to hit 10K a month. Number two, you might be past 10K a month. Number three, what I'm telling you to do, you might have already tried it and it didn't work. So then I immediately, like you would not have any trust. You would immediately see me as not the expert. So that's another big one that a lot of people do is they make assumptions. I wouldn't make any assumption. Just ask questions. Simple as that, literally.
I appreciate that. Wow, that's great. I never thought about doing it this way. I guess I'm not into the psychology part of it.
Literally the only reason why I like know this stuff is because when I first to build up my Facebook ad agency, I had to join a coaching program because I had no idea what I was doing. So a lot of this stuff I learned from that, but I learned most of it. When I was doing the stuff with the commercial real estate guy and had some other opportunities too, all that I was doing for 13 months every day was talking to 100 to 200 people every single day. I tracked every single point of data, literally everything. So I just had a very large amount of volume in a very small amount of time. That's how. So now I think about like the psychology. It's not a natural. Okay. Don't worry.
I'm unfortunately I work full time, so my time is kind of limited.
Yeah.
I was laid off when I got into the business. I wish I would have known about that at the beginning. I would have had 6 months to get everything together. But
yeah, I hear you.
It is what it is. But I'm going to work with it.
Yeah, I'd consider it an opportunity, I suppose.
Yeah. I know it's gonna be slow for me as opposed to somebody who has more time than I do to get ramped up. But I know I'm going to get there. I just I just like stuff like this that helps me, helps me along, I appreciate
It's of course, man. It's really really simple. Like 0 to 6. Like I guess is that the goal? Are you trying to, or I guess what's the first income goal you're trying to hit?
that. I guess to, to be realistic, I like to replace my income that I'm making now, which I'm making about like 55,000 a year.
Okay.
But maybe I should break it down into little segments.
No way, man. You need to ramp it up. I would say 10K a month, 6 figures. That's the first goal. You can do that 100%. And literally all it is, 0 to 6 figures is nothing but sales. It's not websites, it's not emails, it's not blogs, it's nothing but conversations. But these are the only 3 things you got to focus on. It's just these 3 things. The first one is how many conversations per day? How many people are you talking to per day? That's it. The second one, how many calls are you booking a week? The third is how many sales a month? That's it. Those are the only 3 things. You don't have to focus on anything else. So if we were to break those things down, knowing that you have a full-time job right now, well, here, actually, I'll send you another. Did you grab that link in the chat, by the way?
Yes, I did.
You did? All right, here, let me send you another one. So that one was a script. This one is a time audit sheet. So a lot of times, like our clients will say, like, "Oh, I don't have time to do this." It's like, okay, I hear you, no worries, but fill out this time audit sheet so that we can see, like, what is your schedule, like, where are you spending the most amount of your time. Really, the whole point here is just to get a list of all the tasks that you're doing every day, and then to get some buckets where you spend the most amount of your time. So you might find, whoa, I'm spending 8 hours a week in my email.
Yeah.
And if we're trying to hit like 6 figures, then you could literally quantify every single action that you're taking down to $1 per hour value. And so in that scenario, like you might not have the means to like change or make drastic moves right now, but this time audit will show you just how to make a schedule that includes everything that you want to do. The point is not to take away anything, but it's to build the business around the life that you want to live. So if you don't want to work more than 10 hours a week, like, cool, no worries. But we just got to make sure that everything that you're doing like equates to, the 6-figure goal. So,
Right.
So even with a full-time job, we have a couple of clients with full-time jobs right now. I want to say what their schedule is first thing in the morning, they'll respond to messages on LinkedIn. We give them our script. So, I would recommend just use the script I just sent you right now. And just have it there so you can like copy and paste stuff. But I would respond to messages in the morning and then send out connection requests, then do whatever you got to do throughout the whole day. Like hit, go to work or whatever. And then when you get home, just respond to all those messages.
Oh, okay.
Super simple. That's literally, don't worry about emails. Don't worry about challenges. Don't worry about filming videos. Don't even worry about content. None of that matters right now. The only thing that matters is conversations. So if you want to take it a step further, I suppose, we use automations to start those conversations. And then when people respond, our clients just use our script and they copy and paste and they, so they can have, 50, 100 conversations a day. And it takes them maybe 20 minutes to get done with everything.
Okay.
We'll get to that point 100%. It just, you ever heard that saying, like, work smarter, not harder?
Yeah.
A lot of people skip the working hard part, and we're just in that right now. We just have to work hard, like send out all the messages, do all this manually, so that we have the data to know how to work smart. A lot of people skip that part, and then they're like, "Oh, none of this is working, but I'm working smart." It's like, you don't have any data, so this isn't super smart.
Okay, I got it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Fastest path to cash is conversations. Send everybody a message, or just connect with people on LinkedIn. Connect with people that you feel is your ideal audience. Connect with them on LinkedIn. Have conversations with everybody. Through volume of conversations, you will be able to hone in on your actual ideal audience. We cannot say my ideal audience is anybody that needs my service, because then we're not talking to anybody. We're just shouting out into the wind that way.
Okay.
For example, some of our clients, they don't like managers. Okay, whatever. but they had to have enough conversations with managers to know that they just don't sync well. They just don't get along. Whatever. No, it's not good, bad, right, or wrong. It just is. But we want to know those things. So
Okay.
just conversations, man. That is literally it.
Okay. Just focus on conversations. Talk, book, sales.
Talk book sales, yes. Qualify
Okay.
people. And if you notice, yeah, and in your conversations on LinkedIn, they should be saying more than you. You will always acknowledge what they said and then just ask another question. So if it's like, oh, what's your goal? Oh, I'm trying to like hire 3 employees. It's like, okay, how much does your business need to hire those 3 employees? Oh, I need an extra 50K a year or something. It's, oh, okay, where are you at right now? Oh, I only have 10 grand. It's like, okay, you're at 10, you're trying to hit 50. So what's the hiccup? What's the obstacle here? Oh, I'm not getting enough leads. It's like, okay, I hear you. What have you tried? Oh, I tried ads. Oh man, okay. Have you ever tried to get help? No, I've never gotten help with anything. And then you have some sort of closing line. So my favorite is, honestly, I think it's worth a call. I can take a peek at what you got going on. I'll try to find some gaps, and then I'll just show you what works for us. Won't charge a dime. No problem at all. Simple as that. Works great.
Oh, okay.
It's super simple. Yeah. The first question that you asked is like, well, what is the message that I send to people? Like, do I tell them what I'm doing? In that script I sent you, there's no statements. It's all questions. So we're not even talking about like what you could do as a professional, because I mean, no offense, but the fact is, like, as a financial advisor, there's probably a million people out there that can do exactly what you do at the same level. So how do you, what separates you from them? It's so easy. Literally you. Like, we're both human, but we each have a different thumbprint. So we could be on stage saying the exact same thing, talking to the exact same group of people, and for whatever reason, they will just like you more. Your tonality, the words that you use, the way that you speak, your presentation, your energy, whatever it is, but they're gonna like you. And that's where you get that know, like, and trust factor. That's where people will see you as an expert. And that's where the relationship aspect comes into play. Most people treat their conversations as a transaction. That's why they make statements.
Okay.
It just doesn't equate to much. You send out a lot of messages, but there's no booked calls. So we'll just kind of flip it, ask questions, get people to kind of know you, and then just push them to call as fast as possible. A big point on social media, we're prospecting, and then move the conversation to some other medium, whether it's a phone call, a Zoom call, you're going to meet up in person, whatever it is. We just want to move it quickly. And that's a pretty big thing too. So if you notice that your conversations are lasting longer than 20 minutes or something, just think, am I on script, or are we talking about something that just doesn't really matter?
Unrelated.
That happens all the time.
Okay. Yeah. That can happen.
All the time. It happens all the time.
Yeah. Well, can I ask you how long have you been doing this?
So with Tyson since I guess officially August of last year, I guess, and then I've been in this space since 2020 actually.
Are you more in an advisor role now, or are you also like an agent as well?
No. You guys will run circles around me when it comes to like financial stuff. Like I can't talk. I don't, annuities. I don't know that stuff. But when it comes to strategies and sales and marketing, operations is kind of more my thing, like coaching.
I see what you're saying.
Yeah, stuff like that. So
okay.
Yeah,
all right. Well, I appreciate that. Now, you're talking about like automation. Like you guys also do automations?
Yeah. So part of our process is we set up some automations to start conversations on LinkedIn. Okay. And then we have a script so that, any outbound most outbound automations on social media, if somebody responds, the automation stops, because the platform is thinking, oh, Tony sent Joe a message and Joe responded, so they're in conversation. So we're gonna back off. So we automatically start conversations, and then we have a script that our clients use that is highly convertible, and it converts people either to order a book, which is our first front end offer, or just to book a call.
Okay.
And then on the back end of that, we've got a year-long nurture sequence. It's like 9, 10 other funnels, 40, 30 something emails. And that's all
Okay.
automated too.
Okay.
I would say
Okay.
in your spot right now, the biggest impact, the most impactful thing you could probably do is just send connection requests and have conversations.
Okay. And you also mentioned Facebook group as well.
Yeah. I mean, how I started was going into a Facebook group. I would do it something called an intro post. So I would just talk about like me. Everything would be in first person, like why I'm here, what I'm excited to learn, how I can contribute to this group. Something super, and maybe like a picture of my cat or something like that to help the algorithm. And then from there, I'm just messaging people, but I'm asking questions. So the first question that I was asking people is, "Hey, are you open right now?"
Okay.
Simple as that.
Okay. Okay. Start there and then talk about the automation stuff later on.
Yeah, I wouldn't worry about the automation stuff right now, because if you're in a situation where you have more time to do this than you do money to do this, I would do it manually, because you're going to learn all the processes, you're going to learn everything, and you're going to make all the mistakes, and then you'll learn off of that, so you won't make them in the future. It's perfect. Highly recommend it. When you're in the situation where you have more money than you do time, that's when it makes sense. Just outsource everything. Just pay whatever it's going to take. Yeah, and you just build cases and relationships and stuff like that. So this part right now, the conversations is just for now. It's not something that you would be doing forever. Just literally just for now. Then you can bring in team members, and ideally the goal is to proactively bring in new clients to the point where you have enough new clients. What we found is right around like the 80 to 100 mark. When you have 80 to 100 really good clients, that's when that referral system kind of kicks in, and it's like a big gear that nothing's stopping. It's just going to keep going. Most people, they'll get like 10 clients by having conversations, and then they stop everything and just rely on referrals. And referrals, if you don't have new people coming, referrals will run out. They're very unpredictable. It's very hard to scale. And I mean, between you and me, it's similar as like just taking an order. Like I go to a restaurant to like order food. I don't need the server to convince me to order food. Like that's what I'm there for. The server is just there to take my order. It's kind of like a referral. I'm not bashing it. I think it is an absolute necessity. I just think at first, proactive outbound prospecting. Then we can rely on referrals. A lot of people just do it too fast.
Okay, cool. Well, thank you so much, Joe. I appreciate that information.
Of course, man. Yeah, no problem at all.
Yeah, I'm gonna implement.
Do it. I can guarantee you, if you had 30 new conversations a day, I could, and this is recording actually, I could literally guarantee you will be in a completely different spot inside of 60 days. Not a doubt in my mind. We've coached like hundreds of people. Like, this isn't my strategy. I didn't come up with this. Like, this is one of those strategies that's just super old. I mean, it's the same thing. Like, if you're like trying to find a girl or something, like, and if you got two guys at a bar and one doesn't talk to anybody, and you got one that talks to everybody, they're probably going to get denied by 99%. But that one person is going to say yeah, and they're going to go home with somebody. Versus the other guy that didn't talk to anybody, they're not.
Right. Volume.
That it is. It's literally just volume, and then just tracking the data so that the next action you're taking is working off of the results of the last one.
Okay.
So that's why whatever message that you send out first, just like write it down. Like I use these little clickers. So like if I send out a message, click. Send out another message, click. Another message, click. Another message, click. And it's always the same message. But I just use this to track, like, okay, I've sent 60, so I only got 40 left. Sweet.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah. These will help. I think you can get these for like $5 on Amazon too. I got 3 of them. They're very, very helpful.
That's funny. Yeah, I mean, that's interesting though. Like it keeps you like okay, I did. It keeps you thinking. Okay.
Yes. Yeah.
I need to finish my goal.
Exactly that. Yeah. And it's kind of satisfying to like send out a message and then like that little click.
Yeah. That's right, buddy. That
feels good to me. Yeah, man. So just send out connection requests, have conversations with people. I mean, you're in our school group, so feel free, send me a message. If you're not sure like how to respond to somebody, just send me a message. I'll let you know how I would respond. Simple as
Okay.
that.
Okay, Joe, I appreciate that help and appreciate the direction. And I'm excited. I want to start working for somebody, man.
Yeah, I hear it. I hear
Yeah,
it.
I want to do my
100%.
own thing.
It's gonna happen. It's just a commitment to consistency. That's it. And then just remember, it's only 30 messages. So you could break it up. You could do 15 in the morning and 15 at night. You could do 10 in the morning, 5 in the afternoon, and then 15 at night. Or I don't know if that math adds up, but you can break things up. That's totally fine. But it just has to be at least 30 every single day. This is a big discipline process. It's a big time management process. It's a big consistency process. You might learn a lot about yourself too. It's a journey in personal development, because if you can't get 30 messages out, then think like, okay, what happened? What was the reason? Don't get down on yourself. Whatever, we missed something, no big deal. It's far better to think like what happened and then try to fix that than it is to like, oh man, I didn't get 30 messages done. Like I suck. And then it's like, well, come on, no, you can do this, man.
Right. You'll get there. I'll get there.
You'll get there. Yes, 100%.
Okay.
Just stay consistent. That's the biggest thing.
Okay, cool. Thank you so much for the information, and thank you for taking the time.
Of course, man. Just let me know if you need anything, okay?
Okay, I will.
Okay.
Thanks so much. And I can't wait to get to the point where I have more money. What did you say? More money than time?
More money than time. Yeah, because
More money than time, and then that's when you guys come in.
that's when we'll come in. We'll help you with everything you need, man. Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, sounds good. Thanks, Joe.
All right, Tony. Good luck.
All right,
Let me know
have a
if
good
you need anything, okay?
Okay, I appreciate it.
All right, man. Have a good one.
You too. Have a good weekend.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye.
TrainedAdvisor.com